18 traits of an emotionally mature person backed by science. It's no secret that being emotionally mature is a valuable life skill. But what does it actually mean to be emotionally mature? And how can you tell if you have mastered this crucial ability? In this video, we will explore the scientific definition of emotional maturity and look at some of the key traits associated with it. So if you want to test your emotional maturity quotient or simply learn more about how to become emotionally mature, then this video is for you. If you can relate to at least 60% of the 18 signs in this video, then congratulations, you are emotionally mature. Hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get started. The definition of emotional maturity. The American Psychological Association defines emotional maturity as a high and appropriate level of emotional control and expression. Emotional immaturity, on the other hand, is a tendency to express emotions without restraint or disproportionately to the situation. In simple terms, being emotionally mature means being able to control and express your emotions in a healthy and appropriate way. It also involves having a well-rounded emotional life, where you are not too reliant on others for your happiness and you are able to cope with the ups and downs of life in a constructive way. With that said, let's now look at some of the key traits associated with an emotionally mature person. Number 1. Taking responsibility. The first trait of an emotionally mature person is taking responsibility. This means being accountable for your own actions and not making excuses or passing the blame. It also involves owning up to your mistakes and learning from them. You are also resolute in your decision-making and do not second-guess yourself or seek approval from others all the time. In short, you are comfortable making decisions and taking charge when needed. Number 2. Showing empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. It's about being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and see things from their perspective. This also includes being able to offer support and compassion when someone is going through a tough time. According to research, people who are more empathetic tend to be more successful in various areas of their lives, including their careers and personal relationships. Number 3. Recognizing and accepting needs. An emotionally mature person is able to recognize and accept their own needs. This includes both physical and emotional needs. It also involves being in touch with your feelings and knowing what makes you happy, sad, angry, etc. Furthermore, it means being able to take care of yourself both physically and emotionally. This also includes accepting the needs of others and being able to offer support when needed. Number 4. Being unafraid of vulnerability. Many people see vulnerability as a weakness, but in reality, it takes a great deal of strength to be open and honest about your feelings. Being vulnerable also allows you to connect with others on a deeper level and create meaningful relationships. This doesn't mean that you share your deepest, darkest secrets with everyone you meet. But it does involve being open and honest about your feelings when appropriate and trusting that the other person will not take advantage of you. Number 5. Setting healthy boundaries. The ability to set healthy boundaries is another key trait of emotionally mature people. This means being able to say no when you need to and not being a people pleaser. It also involves setting limits in your relationships, both personal and professional. Furthermore, it includes taking care of yourself first and not sacrificing your own needs for the sake of others. Number 6. Owning mistakes. If you are someone who is able to own your mistakes, you are well on your way to emotional maturity. This means admitting when you're wrong and taking responsibility for your actions. It also includes apologizing when necessary and making an effort to change your behavior moving forward. On the other hand, if you tend to make excuses for your behavior or if you find it difficult to admit when you're wrong, then this is a sign of emotional immaturity. Number 7. High self-awareness. When you reach a high level of self-awareness, you become attuned to your own thoughts, feelings, and emotions. You know what makes you happy, sad, angry, etc., and you're able to manage your emotions in a healthy way. This also includes being aware of your triggers and knowing how to deal with them in a constructive way. Many people struggle with self-awareness, but if you are able to identify your own emotions and triggers, then you are well on your way to emotional maturity. Number 8. High self-control. The ability to control your emotions and reactions is a key trait of emotionally mature people. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending everything is okay when it's not. It simply means being able to take a step back, breathe, and think before you act or react. Number 9, humility. The definition of humility is the quality of having a modest or low view of one's importance. In other words, it's recognizing that you are not perfect and that you have room to grow. It also includes being open to feedback and criticism, as well as admitting when you're wrong. Humility is the opposite of arrogance, which is a sign of emotional immaturity. Arrogant people tend to think they know everything and are unwilling to listen to others or learn from their mistakes. Number 10, patience. Do you have the ability to be patient when things are frustrating or difficult? If so, then you're likely emotionally mature. This is because patience requires a great deal of self-control and emotional stability. It also involves being able to see the bigger picture and not getting too wrapped up in the details. On the other hand, if you tend to be reactive and impatient, this is a sign of emotional immaturity. Number 11, self-acceptance. When you reach a high level of emotional maturity, you will likely have a great deal of self-acceptance. This means accepting yourself for who you are, flaws and all. It also includes being kind and compassionate towards yourself, as well as forgiving yourself when you make mistakes. When you have self-acceptance, you are more likely to be accepting of others as well. This is in contrast to people who are emotionally immature and tend to be judgmental and critical of both themselves and others. Number 12, open-mindedness. Ask yourself, are you open to new ideas and willing to change your point of view? If so, then you're likely emotionally mature. This is because emotionally mature people are able to see both sides of every story, and they're not afraid to change their opinions if they're presented with new information. They're also flexible and adaptable, which allows them to roll with the punches and go with the flow. Number 13, optimism tinged with realism. This is a tricky one, but it's important to find a balance between optimism and realism. Emotionally mature people are able to see the glass half full, but they're also realistic about the challenges they face. They don't shy away from difficult conversations or problems, but they approach them with a positive attitude and a belief that things will work out in the end. Number 14, flexibility. The fear of change is a sign of emotional immaturity. On the other hand, being flexible and adaptable is a key trait of emotionally mature people. This doesn't mean you have to be a doormat or agree with everything, but it does mean being open to new ideas and willing to change your plans if necessary. Number 15, forgiveness. The ability to forgive others and yourself is a key trait of emotionally mature people. This doesn't mean forgetting what happened or condoning bad behavior, but it does mean letting go of anger and resentment. It also includes the understanding that everyone makes mistakes and that we all have the potential for growth. Holding grudges is a sign of emotional immaturity as it prevents you from moving on and living your life. Number 16, honesty. Being honest with yourself and others is a sign of emotional maturity. This doesn't mean being brutally honest or hurtful, but it does mean being authentic and true to yourself. It also includes being open about your feelings and thoughts, as well as speaking up when something isn't right. Number 17, communicating openly and assertively. Do you ever find yourself holding back your true feelings or opinions? If so, then you might benefit from working on your communication skills. Emotionally mature people are able to communicate openly and assertively without being hurtful or aggressive. They are also good at listening to others and hearing them out, even if they don't agree with them. Number 18, emotional control. Overreacting, getting angry easily, or throwing tantrums are all signs of emotional immaturity. On the other hand, people who are emotionally mature tend to have better control over their emotions. This doesn't mean they never get upset or angry, but they're able to handle their emotions in a healthy way. For example, they're able to express their feelings in a constructive way without resorting to name-calling or personal attacks. They're also good at managing stress and anxiety, and they don't let their emotions control them. Conclusion. As you can see, being emotionally mature requires more than just being a certain age. It's about having the ability to deal with difficult situations in a healthy way, as well as being open to new ideas and willing to change. If you want to work on your emotional maturity, then start by paying attention to your thoughts and behaviors. Then focus on making small changes that will lead to big results. And it doesn't matter how old you are. It's never too late to start working on your emotional maturity to become the best version of yourself. If you have made it this far, here's a question for you. How many of these traits do you possess? Leave us an honest answer in the comments below. To learn more, check out our other videos that you see on the screen right now. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.